Okay, everyone, follow along. I'm going to show you how to make the best ever Ferrero Rocher hazelnut cheesecake. Those were a lot of words. That's a lot of cake, but follow along and I'm going to show you how to do this and make it as easy as 1, 2, oh my gosh, and boom! This cake is bringing a boom to your party. Crushed graham crumbs, little pinch of sugar, boom, and half a cup of melted butter. I use unsalted. If we need a few more crumbs, we will. It's too pasty. This should be like grainy sand, okay? So we need a little bit more on the crumbs. Boom. Can't be soaking wet. So half a cup of unsalted melted butter, 1.5 cups of crushed graham crumbs, some parchment paper in there. Okay, now you don't need parchment paper. If your spring form is good and you're confident, I had it, so I put it in there today. So let's dump that in to start all the way around the edges. I'm not really gonna go up the sides today. Let's get that nice and pressed down first with the spoon. So now I've got my trusty cup and I just start pressing from the center out towards the sides. Okay, about a 1/2 inch up, that's it. Okay, smooth that out. Back to our spoon for the corners. Smooth that around first. Just make sure it's compact. Got my oven preheating, 350 degrees. Should be ready right there. I'm gonna smooth that down. So that's our crust ready for the oven. About 10, 15 minutes. Okay. So today I'm using Ferrero Rocher. I want the hazelnut cheesecake. So I'm gonna add some chunks inside the cake. And then of course, when I decorate it, on and around the cake as well. So I've got to chop those up. We'll do that right now. I don't need too many for the inside because the more I add, the more probability there is that the cheesecake is going to crack. These smell so good. I've got to be careful that I can't eat the inventory today. Problem. Sometimes though, we've got to do quality control. We've got to be delicate here with these for the halfsies, okay? Like that. I've got 7 for the top. Let's do these in squares. Nice chunks. Let's take all those and dump them in. Okay, so first things first for our cheesecake, we need 3 blocks room temperature cream cheese. Let's add these in, 2 and 3. We're gonna whip this for about 4 to 5 minutes until it gets nice and creamy, and we'll start adding our sugar. Lock it in. Now I'm gonna need 1 cup of regular sugar, so I'm gonna get that ready right now over here. Now we can crank that speed up 1. So during the process of making the cheesecake batter, I'm gonna stop the machine and clean the paddle and scrape the sides. So that way we can try and minimize the amount of clumps that we're gonna get when we're making our cheesecake. So this will be number 1. We'll stop it once, get it all out of that paddle. And we're gonna scrape it down as best we can. And the sides too, wherever we can, and scrape-a-rooney, scrape-a-rooney, scrape-a-rooney. A little bit higher. So we want to get that cream cheese nice and creamy, and then we're going to combine with the sugar. Total mixing time for the cream cheese and the sugar, 4 to 5 minutes. Add in half the sugar to start. Bring that speed up again. Remainder of the sugar in. Boom. Scrape-a-rooney. Oh, I hear the beep, 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 beep. Lock it in. Back we go. Now, vanilla. I'm just doing just a little. There, I'm using a tablespoon, that's a teaspoon, okay? Boom. Now, I go half and half here. I have sour cream, 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons, and a little bit. Those are all heaping tablespoons, okay? My little secret ingredient here, Greek yogurt. It's a way to sneak in some extra protein. So I'll do heaping Greek yogurt, 1 heaping Greek yogurt. So that's 2 heaping Greek yogurt. Next up, a pinch of salt, not a punch. About a 1/4 teaspoon. Boom! Okay, flour. 1, 2. I've got 2 tablespoons of flour in. Boom. Another scrape-a-rooney. around the sides, and again, that bottom. Make sure you get that bottom scraped away. We need 3 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk. We're gonna add them in one at a time to allow them to incorporate properly and completely. Using 1 extra dish, plop, 1. Looking good on number 1 egg, number 2 egg in, boom. And by cracking them in a separate dish, it also provides the opportunity to see if you have any shells in there. Egg number 3, boom. Egg yolk out, good, good. Egg yolk in, boom. Now I told you I had a little surprise here. To give a little bit more hazelnut flavor, brand new bottle here, Frangelico. Now, we don't need too much of this. So I'm using 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. Gives it that nice hint of hazelnut. Do 1 more final scrape here. Look at that, nice and creamy. That just went up a level, didn't it? Crust. Nice. Nice, check that out. There's our crust. I don't want to, see, I didn't want that to happen and lose it. And done and done. Let that drip. We want to get all the goodness in there. Let it drip. We need it all in the cake. Excellent. All right, we're ready for the crust. There's our crust, nice, nice. Now remember, we have, it's hot, but we have our chopped Ferrero Rochers. So let's get half the batter first in. Nice, there we go. That's hot, so don't start touching it. Okay, smooth that out a little bit. Ferrero Rocher goes. We've got to get them in. I want them smaller to try and minimize some of the cracks that we're going to have inevitably with this because we have chunks of Ferrero Rocher inside, but that's okay. Okay, now for the remainder of our batter, scrape it all down. We did all the work. Now around, I try and go around the edges because if I go in the center, it's going to push all the chocolate out to the sides. So there we go. And now we can see how the Ferrero Rocher came to the top. So let's just make sure we smooth this out as best possible and cover up any of those chunks of Ferrero Rocher around the edges. Inevitably, this will crack because of the chunks of chocolate, but that's okay. I still have a ganache that's going to go on top. We're going to check on it. We want to get the center where it's jiggly still a little bit, not completely cooked. It'll finish cooking after it's out of the oven. Now I'm going to get onto that nice hazelnut buttercream so that way it's ready. But once that's done cooking, it needs to cool for at least 4 hours before we think about decorating and finishing that cake off, okay? So we're going to come back in a long time. I'm all cleaned up. We're ready to roast our hazelnuts. I need at least 2 cups. So that's 2 cups. And I'll pop those in the oven for about 15 minutes. And we're going to also make our buttercream. I need 3/4 of a cup. Okay, we need 1.5 cups roughly of powdered sugar. So let's see here, about half of it in. A little bit more. Unbelievable how I should have used a bigger bowl. Now remember, this is hazelnut, so we're not done. We've got a few more ingredients, a couple more ingredients I should say, to get in there. 2 tablespoons of cream, so that's 1, 2. My secret ingredient here that we're doing here to give us our hazelnut flavor is some Frangelico, 1.5 to 2 tablespoons. There's 1. We just want that hint, 1.5. And then we're gonna test it as well. I can already smell the Frangelico in there. You know what? Let's add in some cocoa powder. That's it. Boom. It'll give us a nice light brown chocolatey color. Next time I'm just going to use my mix master because this is not powerful enough. It's taking too long and my hand is getting sore. No excuses. Bake like a champion. Let's see how this tastes. It's good. I like the consistency of it, so we need that definitely to go on our cake. Let's test it. Needs more Frangelico. 1, 2 more. So You know what I didn't add? I just realized it. This might be the difference. I had a little bit of cream, pinch of salt, boom! It's right on the cusp. So 8, 9, that's it, 10. That's gonna be plenty. 10 tablespoons Frangelico. Add hazelnut butter, you could use that, or hazelnut paste as well. I have Frangelico, so a little bit of liqueur in our cake today. Okay. Final taste test right here. Now I've got the hazelnut. There you go. Boom! Move that. We have hazelnut right here. Let's see if we can roll them with our towel a little bit to help de-skin them. I've tried to take off the skin. Like, this is the best I could do. If anyone has an idea how to do hazelnuts better than that, let me know, because I am beyond frustrated with my hazelnuts today. Anyway, I need to give them a little chop. We're not going into a powder, but they've got to be chopped, okay? Yeah, so I over chopped. You know what? We're gonna get away with it. This will be okay. We're okay. We're okay. Hazelnuts are okay. We've got our chocolate ganache. You'll see what I'm gonna do with that drizzle. I've got my hazelnuts, best as I could do today. I've got my Ferrero Rocher chopped in half from earlier. The worry was with the cheesecake that it was gonna crack because I filled it up with chunks of Ferrero Rocher, and it did, but I don't care. I'm gonna show you how to get by it, and don't worry, everyone's gonna eat it anyways. Okay, so here it is. We've got a couple of cracks, a couple of craters. So let's go ahead and remove to get this out. We will. Now I'm also rushing it, because I've gotta have this done. I would have liked a few more hours of cool time. Let's see how it turned out on the sides first. Don't worry about the craters, just watch, okay? We're gonna start with the crack in the crater. Inside first. Make sure that's filled. There. Now we know we're good. Okay, that's good. Easier if it was higher up, but no excuses. Start off about halfway up that cheesecake. Once we know we've got sufficient amount of buttercream on there, then we're going to be okay. Hazelnut. Or you just have to get some, kind of press them in. Okay, and that's why I have the parchment paper underneath. I'm going to try and rotate here if possible so you keep on seeing what's going on. Okay, good, good. Lift our cake up, push it over. Gentle, right under the crust, and it should pop like that. Oh, that was so close. Some more hazelnut. Okay, more hazelnut here. Press and go in with the rest of our chocolate here. Okay, so just to cover the top. That's why I went through those cracks and craters first. Let's see if that's enough chocolate or if we need a little bit more. We've got a few additional hazels and sprinkle. Boom! What we're gonna do is, best we can, clean off some of these. There we go. So that's where we're at right now with our Ferrero Rocher hazelnut cake going in the fridge. Let's get this. Got to get it finished up. A little bit of a flour. I think the bag just tore on me. Cap these off here. Cap these off here. One more. Couple more. Made it. Okay, everybody, there it is, my Ferrero Rocher hazelnut cheesecake. Hopefully this one gets a triple boom later on when we're eating it.